Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world today. But welcome to America. Let's get down to excellence. I am Miss Morgan. I'm so nice they named me thrice. And I am your reigning Miss Gay Pennsylvania America 2023. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm so excited. I feel like it's been so long since I've been here. It's been a few weeks because life just gets away with you, working at the hospital and doing fabulous prelims here in Pennsylvania. Speaking of that, we just crowned our next Miss Gay Philadelphia 2024. Give it up for Miss Lucy Moth. Yes, love her so much. And our first alternate, Ziamara Via, I believe her last name is, but she is fabulous and fierce, and she's going to turn it out this year at Pennsylvania, which is going to be on November 16th in Pottstown at Sunnybrook. So definitely check that out. We have tickets that are going to be live very, very soon. Also, if you haven't checked out our website, it's www.missgaypennsylvaniaamerica.com, where we have merch, we have all the up-to-dates and the in the nows. If you are coming on now and this is your first time joining, I always like to talk about the fact that we are going through all the categories of the MGA, which is Miss Gay America system, and we want to break it down for you if you're coming in as a contestant that's returning, or if you want to be another future contestant, or if you are just a fan and a love and an ally of the system and you just want to know a little bit more about us. I also always love to ask, we have 9 fabulous viewers right now, and I love it when everyone hits that share button, because the more people we bring in, the more America we spread. And let's get down to that excellence. You know what I mean? So I'm so excited tonight because the gloves are off this evening. We have an OG, we have a fierce former Miss Gay America of 2012. But before we get into that, I just want to say that we went through all the categories so far. We went through how to get ready and find your prelims. We went through personal interview. We went through on-stage question. We went through gown, and we went through talent. So what I want to do tonight is we're going to dig in a little more into talent. And who better than to do that than the fierce, the fabulous Miss Kirby Colby. Hello.
Did somebody moan in the background when I said that?
I heard none of that. I heard nothing but excellence here over
Okay.
at Morgan household.
Okay, got
How
you.
are you? Thank you
I'm
so much.
great. How are you?
I'm fabulous. I'm honored, and I'm just still in awe that you took the time out of your day, your fabulous day, to join me on this
Oh, thank you for
live.
having me. I
No,
love
thank you.
this. I think your platform is phenomenal, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So
Well,
thank you
that
so much for having me.
well means the world. Like I said, I can't thank you enough. And you're
Absolutely.
just, when I think of MGA, you're one of the people that I do think of. I think of a lot of
Oh,
people, but you're somebody that I definitely think of, not only because people say that I remind you of me,
yeah,
or
that's
the other way
it.
around. I don't know if you've heard
Yeah.
that, but I love, but it's a huge honor, and I hope you
It's
know that.
it's almost like Sabrina White and myself had a love child, and you're the love child. So
I am not mad at that, and I hope Sabrina knows this, because if that were to happen, I probably would just go to sleep happy every
oh,
night.
I love it. I love it.
I'm going to message her later and ask her if it's okay.
Absolutely.
And I actually have been trying to I'm going to get her on another podcast, or one of these lives, and go and pick her brain as well, because she's
Uh,
also got a lot of knowledge as well.
yeah, she and I, our first year at Miss America together back in 1995, I believe it was. Everybody kind of said we were like doppelgangers to a certain degree. So,
I mean, you couldn't ask for two fiercer.
oh well, I mean, I took it as a great honor. So,
100%. So welcome
thank
to the 6th episode of Let's Get Down to Excellence. And I was telling the viewers that we've gone through every category, but talent is something that is so involved. It's the highest point system or point
absolutely.
category in the evening, and so I figure I want to continue going through that a little bit more.
Okay.
As the viewers are watching, I'm hoping that they type in some comments or questions
Oh,
that we
please,
can do in, and
absolutely.
you and I can go through that with them. So this way, there's no stone unturned.
Yeah, we
Uh,
can kind of feed off them and see what they're asking, what they want to know. They have any insight or questions? Yeah, absolutely.
100%. So I figure what we can do is just to kind of get our ball rolling, if it's cool with you, because I know that you, like I said, you are a fierce competitor. You're a former MGA, 2020. 2012.
Yes.
And I'd love to hear one of your favorite talents that you've performed and put on stage that really was your authentic self that you loved, whether it be a winning one or one that you've done that you just love so much.
Okay. Well, like looking back, I definitely have to say the year that I won, my winning talent was very, very special to me. It was sort of a revisitation of the very first talent that I did at Miss America. Switched up some things, switched up the mix, but it kind of it told my story, so to say, because it was a return to Miss America after so many years,
Hmm.
and um, I think it just really spoke to me. I think that that you have to find a talent that you feel that speaks to you, and
Sure.
so I think that was my favorite. But looking back in previous years, my big time talent, I think, was my greatest achievement because I think it took the most work.
Okay.
Putting it together, the props, the dancers,
And
everything.
what was that? What was the theme of the talent?
It was Linda Edders, Big Time.
Okay.
You'll have to go look it up on YouTube. But it started off. It kind of told a story. I was working in a newsstand, and I was. It's her song "I Want More," and it's talking about
Okay.
life, mundane, and whatever and whatever. And then it went into a scene from The Life,
Okay.
the musical The Life, where it's, the guy's taking her to Los Angeles to make her a star, and it says you're going to be one of those people on People magazine.
Yeah.
And so then it goes into Big Time, and the dancers come out, and we do this whole big thing, and the props change around, and at the very end, the prop spins, and it's a cover of People magazine, and I'm on the cover of People magazine.
I love that. I love a good prop change too.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
utilizing a prop in different ways.
Well,
Um,
it's funny because now they have the big screen, so it
Sure.
makes it, I don't want to say easier for the contestants, but they can do so much more with the
Sure.
with the screen.
Sure.
But
Sure.
I still love a good prop. Still love
So
it.
let's actually, I want to shift gears just a whisper, because you brought up the screen, right?
Okay.
So for Pennsylvania, some locations they do have background video or like the TV screens or
Right.
whatnot. So as we progress and all these future contestants make it to Miss Gay America in Little Rock, Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
They have this screen. So in your opinion, as a judge, what is too much utilizing that screen and what is not enough?
Well, I think if you rely too heavily on the screen, then you're missing the mark.
So what does that mean, if you don't mind me asking? Like,
That means your talent should stand alone, regardless of what you have going on in the back of you. You should be the center focus of your talent.
Mhm.
I should always be on you. The screen, as good as it can be and enhance your talent, it shouldn't be a crutch. Like,
Sure.
people should not be paying more attention to what's going on the screen than they are to you.
Sure.
So
Yeah, and I think that's something that I found going through all the different interviews that I've been doing is that like something a little thing can be a huge distraction for a judge.
absolutely.
It can be such a deal breaker for points, right? And
Because as a judge, we want to focus on you, the contestant, more than anything. Yes, we want to take your whole talent in. We want to see it all. We want the showmanship. We want the visualization, but we still want to focus on you, the contestant.
Sure.
We want to see what you bring, what you're able to do.
Sure. So your favorite talent that we were going back to, sorry, I just wanted to bring that up because I didn't bring that up last time about utilizing the screen. Or we skimmed over it really quickly. So with your talent, was there a lot of dancing? Like, I feel like a lot of people have that perception that to be a winning talent, you have to do a slam, bam, dancing house down number. But is that
No,
the case?
definitely not. Because if you look at a lot of the former Miss Gay Americas, even though there's been a range of talents, some of them have won with non-dancing talents. It's just whatever you as an individual feels like showcases you the best. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, live singing, it can be dramatics, whatever your talent is, we want to see that. We want to see what makes you unique, what makes you an individual.
100. And I love that. I always tell people that just being your authentic self
Absolutely.
Because that's the time that you shine the most, because there's no extra weight on your shoulders when you're doing something you're so passionate about. Because if you're trying to put everything in and end the kitchen sink in, you're worrying about the kitchen sink and how to turn it on instead of worrying about being yourself on stage.
Totally.
So yeah, I totally agree with you, and I love that. So, and I'm not a big dancer, like I like to pretend that I am, but
Well, I don't think it's even so much a dancing,
right.
thing per se, which I think a lot of people gravitate toward that because they think that's what gets the audience going, that's what pumps them up. And I get that. I totally get that. But you're trying to impress 5 people that are in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not all of them are fans of the huckabuck,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Cooper Slam,
100%.
death drop,
100%. And you gotta read, right? You gotta kind of read your audience a little bit.
Totally.
So if I can ask this question, I'm just kind of curious, because
Sure.
I'm sure you've seen a few numbers here and there during the years.
Maybe.
So what is there a standout talent number that you can think of that's a non-dancing one?
That's a non-dancing one.
Yes.
Across the board or just at Miss Gay America?
Just something that Miss Gay America.
At Miss Gay America. Okay, let me think about that.
Not to put you on the spot. I know that's a
well, to go back to last year,
Uh-huh.
Sitting there as a judge, I have to say that the overall talent winner, Paris Nicole Brooks, her dramatic speaking, dialogue talent. I mean, it was so captivating, not only what she was, lip syncing or what she was saying, the piece of it, but just how it focused into her facial expressions, anything like that is going to capture your audience, capture the judges. And there's not a lot going on with the talent. It's just her. You just focus into her. So as a sole performer, you only have to worry about yourself. You don't have to worry about what's going on around you, whether there's mistakes and all of that.
I remember, so because obviously I was there doing my.
Oh yeah,
Hi.
I think my favorite non-dancing talent was Kirby's.
Oh,
that was. I keep hearing about your talent.
Hey y'all.
Well, I appreciate that, Dexacy. Thank you.
Yes. Our former MGA, Dexacy. Just eating grits here at my abode. I just got sorry, let me just
take it on.
Recharge my brain there.
Right.
So I do remember, because obviously I was busy doing my thing this year at America, but I do remember seeing a little bit and hearing about that talent. And was that the talent that she came out and she was on the microphone, like it was just a microphone stand? And
stand. There was some stuff on the screen behind her. I think she was in black.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just very poignant, very to the the direction that she was going with.
Mm-hmm.
It just pulled us all in as judges, I think.
Yeah. I really have to give a shout out to former Miss Gay Philadelphia, who was first alternate Pennsylvania last year, who came with me, Heavens to Betsy. She had brilliant talent too. Yes, of course there was dance at the second half of it, but just that spoken word that she did, and it was like her saying it, like it was
absolutely
authentically a voice that she was putting out there, and it was just beautiful.
And I know I don't want to cut you off, but I know those are 2 examples of, like we said, spoken talents or talents with a meaning behind them or a message to send out. I don't want people to get the wrong impression that your talent has to have a message. I mean, it can be your own personal message, just what you are trying to convey. If you're happy in it, if you're, just having a good time or whatever, that's your personal message.
Right. Wasn't there a contestant that did a bassoon thing, like what is it? Philly did one? Oh, that's right. This year we had a contestant who actually sat on the stage and played a musical instrument.
Oh, I love that.
And it was very captivating because you just it's something different. It's something that they do on their regular life. And we got to see that.
See, I wish more contestants would be authentic to who they are, because I've talked to contestants, like they've done things over the years and I've judged or helped or seen or whatever, and they do these talents and, they score how they score. And then in talking to them, they're like, well, I do this, or I play this instrument, or, I'm a majorette for something, or, they had these hidden talents that they don't want to share. And I'm like, why don't you want to share that? And they're like, well, I don't think it'll score well. And I'm like, well, but it's you. It's your true, authentic
Sure.
self, like you were saying.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about, if it's okay, let's talk a little bit about scoring well. Because
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot of everyone's mind, because it's very
Totally.
nerve-wracking, because, we talk about the handbook. We talk about knowing the handbook. And I will always say that on the lives, that like, make sure if you're coming in or if you're returning and you haven't yet, read all 70 some pages of it.
Because
And
it's there for a reason, and it will tell you everything
it's your
you
guide.
need. Totally.
Correct. And so I think a lot of people, I agree, and me included, I can fall into it as well, where you get so fixated on not wanting to lose points
Right.
that you kind of somehow lose what you're doing a little. I feel for myself, I
Okay.
can speak for that like I lost a little bit what I was doing and like my authentic self, because I feel like my first year I was like
You were
100%.
you. Yeah.
I had
Absolutely.
nothing to lose at that point, I felt, and I just did myself. I put myself on the table on that stage, and that's what it was. And I felt like coming back, I was like, okay, now I know what I know. I'm not losing any points,
Gotcha.
And so when you are judging, you personally, when you're judging, what's something that you would be like, okay, I'm gonna on a talent. There's I guess let's start with, how do you score personally? Because I know everyone has different scoring methods.
Right. Well, with the new scoring system now, which has even taken me a little bit of getting used to, because there's not such a wide range of scoring. It's the 25 points per each subcategory.
Right. So if you don't mind me just kind of chiming in for people that are watching. So there's the 4 main categories that we have, which is personal interview, onstage question, gown, and talent. And so each category has 4 subcategories, and each subcategory is worth 25 points. And then all those points are a percentage. It will turn into a percentage, and that's how you get your final scores, by a percentage.
Yes.
And we're obviously talking about talent, which is the most. I think it's 40 percentage points or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when I speak about the scoring, I always talk about how there's different ways that judges will score, where it's either you start high and you go down, or you go down and you go up, or in the middle. So I'm kind of curious where you do your scoring.
Well, some judges will tell you they start at the top and they start taking things off for whatever they see wrong. But the problem with that is you wind up getting a lot of people with the same score. So I start sort of in the middle, like with a 13 or a 12,
I'm very intrigued by that. Yeah.
And if I find like this person is better than that, I move up. But if I find like they're not meeting expectations, or they have a lot of problems, or there's things going wrong, then it starts to dwindle down. And I think you get a wider range in your contestants that way, because you see who is actually excelling at what they do.
Sure.
So you sort of start at an even middle range, and then
Yeah. You're the first person that's ever told me that they do that. So I'm very intrigued by that, to see how. Do you find that like you'll dip down, but then you'll go back up, and you kind of
absolutely, because you can. It's almost like it's continuously moving throughout the talent, because you can see things like if it's starting in the middle and then it's not really going anywhere, and you're kind of dipping down, or the costumes are not that great, but then it changes, or it will pick back up, or something will, come out or happen or change, or,
Well, in theory, that's how the talent could be too, where you build up anyway.
Totally. And I've always said that's what makes a good talent, is it builds, and you want to have the crescendo at the end where you just slap everybody in the face.
So, so you're sitting. So picture this: you're judging me. I come out on stage, right? And whatever. So what is one thing that you were like, okay, this happens, and I will always take a point off for this. Is there something that you not that you're necessarily looking for, but you're like, okay, this is
like a little pet peeve of mine?
Or I guess, well, actually, I kind of want that, and I kind of want to see something that you may see frequently that you take a point off of. So 2 of them.
It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing.
Okay. Okay.
If the contestant will leave the stage and there's nothing going on
Okay.
on the stage, like, and 9 times out of 10, they're leaving to take a cover up off.
Okay.
You know, but, and I could get that, like if it's this huge reveal or something you've got to get out of, I get that. But you cannot leave the stage dead. Something has to be going on at that moment to keep people engaged.
Right.
And
so what would be something that you would suggest? Would you like dancers coming out, or?
Yeah, and I'm not saying it has to be something to just fill up time either. It has to make sense as to what's going on. But like, yeah, 9 times out of 10, if somebody's taking something off, it can be taken off on stage. You know,
and that's a very good point. And I mean, some people that are just coming into the system might not even know that. So this is stuff for people. So what's something that you give points for? Like, what's something where you're like, okay, I see you.
This may sound like a little vain or a little vanity involved, but if I can tell that a person has spent money,
okay,
like if they've really, really upped the bar on what they're presenting, like, and I don't want to say you have to, break the bank
sure,
for whatever, but if it looks a little more upgraded than a Tuesday night show, then you caught my attention.
And I think you just said it perfectly, where there's a difference between a bar number and a talent number for an America system, right? And like, and I think you said his best, like, yeah, you put a little time, effort, and a little bit of money. I mean, it's not. We talked about this at the very literally with Tatiana Boucher. We talked about, it is going to be a little costly in certain ways, but there are also certain ways that you can cut corners if you need to.
Of course.
So I agree. I think that like there's something to be said about a bar number and a talent that will stand you out more to get that point or two.
And in saying that, I have seen contestants do what some people would say is a bar number, like they just danced by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But in saying that, it's got to be more to it than that. Like if that contestant can pull you in solely by themselves, or their costuming is elevated, or their look is elevated, or or how they move across the stage. Because I mean, you can be, I don't want to keep going back to dancing, but like you said, if you are a strong dancer, you can win talent without anything else going on.
Yeah, did Princess Prozac? I definitely saw a little bit of on that video, and it was just like, I think she had like a
dressing table,
like a makeup table, or like the table,
yeah.
And she, but that table part elevated that.
Well, yeah, it just it helps with the story.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. It gives it a little bit more of that
instead of just walking out and taking a cover up off and dancing.
Right. Which I can't do, so it's fine.
Well,
I won't do that either. So, okay, I kind of am enjoying going with the point thing. Do you mind going back to maybe something that you frequently see on stage that could be a point deductor? Because I think that's what most people coming in would like to kind of be cued in on.
Well, I think contestants get caught up with thinking I've got to have a production, or I've got to have people on stage with me.
Right. And
even though in aspects that makes it more visual for people, for the audience and the judges, you can fall into a negative, because not everybody on stage is doing everything that you're doing, or, and you're having to worry about that to a degree.
Sure.
And a lot of times people on stage can distract from you. They can take things away from you, or I've seen backup dancers that sing the lead, or outshining the contestant.
That's a thing. And that is definitely a thing. I definitely that's something that I will try and work on too, like not putting everything in it because it can be too distracting. They're trying to figure out what's going on as opposed to
Well,
what I'm doing, right? So,
yeah, a critique that sometimes I put on my score sheets or if I'm judging or whatever is crowded or convoluted
okay. Right.
because there seems to be a lot going on that's pulling our eyes this way and that way, but I'm not paying attention to what you're doing as a contestant.
And let me find out that my dancer is singing my
You'll be
yeah,
surprised.
okay. I'll be like, okay, please step up. Go ahead.
Right.
No, but I actually I was when the talent one last episode was with Bataya Hart, and we were talking a little bit about choreography, and because she's a choreographer and a dancer, and we were talking about backup dancers, and just having that understanding with the dancers that you as the talent, you like the person competing, you should be the center of attention, and
Absolutely.
that these dancers who are trained dancers, right? And I'm speaking also from my own experience too, where I'm still learning dance moves and I'm trying to figure out the choreography where these dancers have been trained for years and years and years.
Right.
So they're hitting it, they're doing it, it's very fluid, and I'm kind of like doing my thing. So you're running that risk of if they're better than you and you're not on the same field, that could be a point that could.
Are you living up to your part?
Yeah, correct. And if you're not, then that's going to show.
But even on the flip side of that, if I can, where you talk about choreography, because that is a subcategory, under talent. And so a lot of people are thinking, do I have to have this talent that's choreographed? And when they say choreography, they don't mean like set steps or 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's your use of the stage. It's your body language. It's how you move. Like if you're a sole performer and you're standing in one spot the entire time, like you're frozen, that's not choreography.
Right.
But, as a performer, if you're moving, if you're utilizing your stage, if you don't look constricted in your movements.
Sure. Well, you can even look at it as like a person who has a very good singing, like good voice, and they come out and they do a song, and they're singing live. And there's a difference between just standing there and holding a microphone and singing, and then even just the choreographing of taking a step forward and just showing that empowerment.
Totally. And choreography can be here. It can be in your face. It can be how you move your eyes, your hands. I mean, all of that body movement is choreography.
Sure. I think I'm gonna have to start dance lessons again, though.
No. just go dramatic.
I'm just gonna do spoken word and call it a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with talents and stuff, with being overcrowded and things on stage, I know that with talents, which now just a little plug, it is 6 minutes of length for talents as opposed to 7 that it used to be.
Right.
But there's things that should be highlighted, like no liquid on stage. But yes. I think that you can have concealed liquid or something like that.
I'm not exactly certain.
But you definitely can't have liquid running around the stage.
Yeah.
Fire, obviously, and any other things. And I don't know if there's any other.
Was there excessive use of glitter? I think did that use
glitter? No, so I should not throw marbles on the stage for the next. No. I'm only kidding. I care and love about all my sisters.
Absolutely.
So I know that I told you I'm going to try and keep it to 45 minutes, but I mean, I feel like we're going to spill over a little bit just because I love chatting with you and you're like a practical legend. So anyway, but I want to shift gears a little bit. Is there anything else that you maybe want to highlight in talent? Because I kind of want to bop into a couple, because it wouldn't serve everyone justice if we didn't talk about other categories with you.
I want, like, the thing with talent, because people ask me, it's like, well, what should I do for talent? As a former, or we don't have all the answers as to what your talent is. Or what you could showcase yourself doing.
Sure.
So you have to look within yourself as a contestant to sort of see, okay, this is what I'm good at, or this is my strong points, or this is what I can showcase that makes me stand out from the rest, whatever that talent may be. you know,
Be
and it's
anything.
not always dancing. It's not always, huckabucking and, you know,
What is wait? What is huckabucking?
huckabuck. Ask Dexter, she knows it.
I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up shortly about. Do you know what
It's
huckabucking
just like
is?
the strong hardcore.
Sure, like that I can't do. Got it. Okay. The buck and dance. Oh, she's dancing over there in the other room.
Okay.
I'm screaming. So I lost my train of thought.
But,
But,
yeah, in keeping with that point, it doesn't have to be. Some people get caught up in Broadway. It doesn't
Sure.
have to always be Broadway.
Sure.
I mean, it's just you just have to find out what works best for you.
Sure.
I
I know.
know that's vague, but that's
Yeah.
you as an entertainer. You have to tap into that.
I know that my first year at Nationals, there was a contestant who roller skated and had like a roller skating talent.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't. I unfortunately did. Misty, I didn't. I
Loved
did
it.
not. I heard. I didn't. I did not have an opportunity to see it, but I just heard people talking about how amazing that was because it's different. You're being true to yourself, and she probably shined even more than she already does because she's doing something she loves. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you, from a judge's standpoint, if you see 30 some contestants and 20 of them are doing Broadway, 10 of them are doing hardcore dancing. If you have that one contestant that's doing something off the grid, that contestant is going to stand out.
Mhm.
It's up to the contestant to make sure it's good or it's entertaining. But the fact that it's different or not the norm, so to say, that will make them stand out.
100%. 100%. All right, let's what's your favorite category that you love with the system? There's 4 of them. We talked about talent, so you can't say talent.
Okay. For me personally, I love
Yeah.
evening gown.
Okay. So
That's
why
my-
do you love evening gown?
I just think it gives, because yes, we're all men in drag, but I think that well, some of us, but I think that category sort of shows your transformation side the best.
Okay.
And when people think of Miss Gay America, they think of that. They think of all that regal look with the crown and the gown, and I think that's what solidifies it. That's what makes people go, wow. And so I think if you can excel in that category, and once again, a lot of people think that it's a money category, and it can be. You can spend a lot of money. I spend a lot of money, but at the same time, if you stand out in whatever you wear, I think
So I'm trying to think because you're saying stand out with whatever you wear, right? So
Right.
let's talk a little bit because Katia and I were chatting a little, like I don't remember what it was, like episode 3 where we were chatting about Gown, and she's a great resource as well with Gown.
Absolutely.
And we were talking about just things to look for. We went through the whole list, right? So why don't we just talk a little bit about a couple highlights of that, if you don't mind. Like, for example, a lot of people, including myself, get nervous about the walk, right?
Okay.
So is there any advice you can give someone new or someone returning that maybe that's not their forte, that they can take a little piece of advice about the walk?
Get out of your head, first of all, because I think people think, okay, I got to walk this way or I've got to walk feminine, and that will ruin it every single time. If you're overthinking it, walking should be natural. It should be something you don't even think about. It should just come innate to you. And I don't want you to walk like a truck driver by any means. If that's your normal walk, work on it. But but your walk should be easy. It should be,
Sure.
And I hate to see contestants what I call running in evening gown.
What is that? So what does that mean?
They're moving so fast that you can't even focus on what they're wearing. It's like this is your time, to look like $1 million, to feel like $1 million. So stop, just breathe, let people look at you, let people take it all in. I always said, like, For me, in my head, when I was modeling, I wanted to look like I was floating. I didn't want to look like I was walking. I wanted to look like I was just floating across the stage. And so I think people get caught up a lot of times with like, oh, either they're nervous or anxious or whatever the case may be, and they're constantly trotting. I'm like, stop. Just slow down, girl.
I think it was Katia had said for the a little piece of advice before you walk out, take like 3 deep breaths.
Absolutely.
Let it all out and breathe for a second,
You need to
because
clear your mind, get everything out of your head, and just like, I've prepared for this. This is the best I have ever looked, for this moment. I want people to take all this in and just shine. Just because I think even, people you can have 10 girls with Coco Vegas or Christina Ross's beaded solid, everything's beautiful.
Yeah.
10 beautiful gowns.
Yeah.
But this right here, if the contestant is alive, if you see it in their eyes, in their smile, their confidence, that's going to set them out, regardless of what they have on.
Yeah, I agree. Is this who I think it is? Who's this right here?
Oh gosh,
that's actually gorgeous. Look how great you look.
Well, thanks. Once upon a time, yeah.
Well, I mean, you always look gorgeous. I hope
before I got old and decrepit.
Oh my God. I was going to say something, but I don't think it's appropriate on the live. But anyway, so since we're talking about gown and movement and the walk, I always like to point or talk about the fact that, like, when a new contestant comes in and you're about to do gown, you start getting scored at a certain point on stage. And when you're at your prelim or your state prelim or on nationals, they will let you know when that scoring starts, right?
Yeah.
And that first step after that scoring line will happen. And then they instruct you to do 3 points. And they usually do it as the backwards triangle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the point in the back and the 2 points on left and right. And you can kind of go in any path in a straight line of that triangle and hit those 3 points. And a lot of times what I've been receiving from formers is that take the time for those 3 points.
Absolutely.
Because you have that minute and a half or however long that, I think it's a minute and a half of that walk. And if you just get to those 3 points and give them that moment, that's plenty. I think people think that they have to keep walking and walking and walking.
And not constantly moving. You don't have to constantly move.
Right.
Like if you walk out from the side of the stage and you get to that back point of the triangle, stop. This is your first moment that the whole entire audience, the judges, see you. Let them see you. Don't immediately start walking.
Right.
Give us a minute. We want to take in all.
I live that. Give us a minute. You said, give us that minute. Yes, yeah. I agree.
And then when you hit your points, your other point of the triangle, just slow, easy. Let us see the back of the dress, unless you're hiding something.
And then it would be smart to not turn around.
Right? I've seen contestants never turn around.
That's so funny.
But
now, would you deduct? I have a random question. Would you deduct a point because you didn't get to see the back, or was it a smart move not to turn around to see something that you wouldn't want to see?
If you're a good judge, you will indicate to the contestant that you want to see the back of the dress. If they're not showing you the back of the dress, you're like,
you go like this.
Yeah,
work. Okay. I'm just curious because I don't know. So another thing that I just want to ask about. So you're talking about the movements, not going too fast. One more thing about the points that I did want to bring up was that I feel like I could be also guilty too. Once you hit your 3 points, it's kind of free game of whatever you want to do as far as your walking goes, of hitting different points. Right. But I always suggest don't just start bopping around the stage like a ping pong ball, because it's just going to get so distracting and awkward and weird. Just try and stay within that triangle, which will be a nice little structure for yourself as well as the judges to receive what you're doing.
What is it? It's time now, right? Is it 3 minutes? Ask Dex to see. Not to pull her, but
a minute. It's a minute and a half.
A minute and a half. Okay. If you are not running, if you're giving the judges enough time to look at you,
Mhm.
by the time that you do that triangle, you shouldn't have a lot of time to wander around stage.
30 seconds is quick. Well, that's not true because when you're standing on stage and everyone's staring at you, it feels like a lifetime. But yeah, if you think about it, 30 seconds each point, and then do your thing, and then you did the thing.
Yeah, totally.
I have another thing that just kind of popped in my mind about, because usually gowns the part where people, when you're walking, whomever's proctoring the gown portion, they'll read a little bio about yourself.
Right.
You have any because when you for new contestants, when you come in, you'll fill out the application form and they'll ask you a series of questions which they can utilize as part of what they say during the gown portion. Is there anything that what's something that you love to hear about a contestant that may, like, meaning like a topic or a question, I guess, that a contestant would answer? That's something that you like.
Like on the little questionnaire thing?
Yeah, okay, maybe that I didn't answer it correctly. Like, so is let's switch gears a bit. Is there something that you would suggest to someone coming in of how to fill out these questions?
Definitely be honest about them. You know, don't put down answers you think people will want to hear. I mean, be genuine, be true to yourself for sure. If there was a question, I think one thing people don't know about me, I think is that a question?
It is, yeah. Or
Oh,
like, I think it says that. Yeah, I think it is. I heard that there's a good one about what's your favorite color. Didn't like Roxy Overbrook do something?
I can't remember what she said.
I think I know what she said. She said, whatever color gown I'm wearing.
Oh, okay.
But she did that. But you know what I love about that? And it's like you're saying, be honest, be authentically yourself. She did that in a way because she wanted to show that side of her.
Yeah.
I felt it was being funny, but also like.
Well, and I think that's what these questions are for. I mean, granted, you know, nobody's like, you know, the questions are not going to be a determining factor as to how good you're going to do. But when the MCs are reading them, yes, they're a time filler. That's the basic.
Sure. I think the reason why I asked that question was I just feel that when I'm filling it out, it's like I feel like I have to have the right answer, like I'm taking a test, you know? And that's why I was asking you, and you said it perfectly. Just be honest and just
Well,
say,
and it's not necessarily a right answer, but you do, and that gives a chance for the audience, the judges, the MCs to see a little more about who you are, other than what you're presenting on stage.
sure.
So it doesn't always have to be funny. You know, it can be a poignant answer or whatever. Just something for people to go, oh, wow, that's an interesting response to that question.
Sure. Right. And I also look at it like this is a way of opening that window of showing them who you are.
Absolutely.
This illusion that you're giving them.
Well, and I keep telling contestants the bottom line that judges are looking, they want to know who you are. They want to know the person.
I'm writing
They
it
want
down.
to know who is this person that's going to lead our organization for the next 365 days.
And you just said it best. And that is like a good take home, is that you like this, you're applying for a job basically, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is a business and we're applying for a job, but there's also layers to this onion that's called Miss Gay America, right? There's also other great things than just being the face of it or just being the business aspect of it, but the business aspect is very important. So they want someone who's authentically themselves. This is from what I'm grasping, that's your authentic self that's going to best represent the system.
Right.
And
of course, you want somebody that can do the job. Of course, you want that. But you also look for somebody that is approachable or personable. Or it's like, is this person going to go to these preliminaries and stay in their corner? Or are people going to like enjoy them while they're there? You know, have a good time with them? Or, you know, are they going to be warm? Are they going to be welcoming? Or, you know,
I agree 100%. So we ran over a little bit, but I just love talking to you, and I loved
it too.
what I like to do is at the end of doing my podcasts with the formers, I love to ask the question, what does excellence mean to you? Because I always get something different from each person. I love it because, with the MGA system, the symbol of excellence is something that is very important and it's upheld very strongly within the system. So, I didn't know if you wouldn't mind sharing with everyone what your thoughts are about it. Not to put you
For
on the spot.
me, I think excellence is being the best that you can be without going outside of your means, being true to who you are, and just giving 100% of what you can give. You know,
I
just
love that. Just putting yourself out there and
yeah,
and wholeheartedly 100% of it. I love that.
yeah. Go a little above, go a little beyond, but don't do it
Sure.
to a point where you're exhausting yourself or you're exhausting your means or your finances or whatever.
Yeah.
Excellence can be something as simple as being nice to somebody. Or
You said that. You said it, and that's the truth. I'll tell you from your lips. Well, thank you so much. This meant the world to me for you joining.
Oh, I enjoyed it so much. Thank you for having me.
I know that there may be future contestants that might reach out to you and say hello and ask you some questions. So I
I
hope
would
that's
love that.
okay. You are just a wealth of knowledge, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And just
Absolutely. I look forward to it too.
so thank you so much. I'm going to bid you adieu.
All right. You have a great night and
You as well.
congratulations on what you're doing.
Thank you.
But
It
success to you.
means the world. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
All right. Bye, everybody.
They say goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. What a magical, magical interview. I'll tell you, Kirby Colby is somebody that is just so kind, so nice. And I'm just so thankful that they took the time out of their day to give us a little more insight. And I hope everyone was able to pick up some gems from this conversation, especially with talent. But we kind of dipped in a little bit to some other categories. So if you didn't pick up on everything we talked about, please definitely rewind and check it out because this will be live on the MGPA Facebook page. I just want to also let you know some fun news. I just locked in my next former for our next Let's Get Down to Excellence. I don't know what we're going to necessarily chat about yet because we've covered all the categories. And so if you want to privately message me or put it in the comments of maybe some topics that you want to hear about, I would love to dive into things that might be burning within that you want to ask. So we have a former MGA, Miss Andorra, and she will be here with me live on Facebook on Thursday, July 25th, and that's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you again for joining with me. If you haven't done it already, please hit that share button. Also check out that Miss Gay Pennsylvania America.com website. You can check out merch. You can check out merch. You can check out our prelims, which speaking of that, we do have a prelim tomorrow in Northeast Pennsylvania. That's at the 12 Penny Saloon. I will be there in rare form. So please come check us out if you're in the local area. And I just love you all so much. And I can't wait to see you on July 25th with Andorra. Have a great rest of your evening.